Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to talk about something many parents experience, and I go through this every day as well. That mix of excitement, the anxiety, the pressure, the frustration when it comes to encouraging our kids to do something that is really deeply important to us, which is the Hifz Quran for our kids. Okay? Maybe you've asked yourself, how do I stop myself from getting upset if my child does not want to do it or doesn't want to concentrate, doesn't want to sit down to do it? How to not have a scream fest every single day, getting them to study, getting them to work harder, getting them to do Hifz al-Quran. How can I keep this experience gentle, beautiful, and calm for all of us in the house? Okay. They're already getting pressure from school. They're already getting pressure from madrasa. Then you come home and you're also pressuring them at home. So it's this constant battle. And I know many mothers are going through this. So let's address the elephant in the room and talk about this and talk about a few ways that may help and maybe powerful strategies that could be practical and can encourage your kids to do Hifz al-Quran while mastering your calm. Okay, we want to build this into a beautiful journey for them and not something they dread, not something they start hating. We want them to fall in love with doing Hifz al-Quran. I know it is easier said than done, but let's see how we can tackle this. Okay, so as parents, we really love our kids and we want the very best for them, especially in the matters of our deen. We want them to be top notch, come first in the class, and we have a whole list of things that we'd like for them to do, right? So that is that control comes in, okay? So our desire for them to succeed on this hips journey can turn into a lot of pressure for them, a lot of nagging, um, and it could sound like they come home after a hard day from school, a hard day from madrasa. Did you finish your lesson? Did you finish your hifz? Are you ready? Why don't you try harder? Everyone's getting more ahead of you. You're falling behind, etc., etc. I know that this sounds um, very familiar, but let's try to switch up the game, and we want to reset to calm, right? That's what we're here for. So again, if you're new here, my name is Tasneem and I'm a parenting coach, and I try to help moms find that common peace again in their relationship, no matter what the situation is. You want them to succeed in life. We want them to be happy. We want them to be joyful. But we create such an environment that they dread the very name or the very subject of the study. Okay? So let's just be honest here. We These reactions come from a very loving place, right? We love them and we want them to do really well. We're worried and we want to help them, but from a psychological perspective, this repeated pressure has the opposite effect of what we hope. Okay, I've talked to many moms that they say that they've just given up on that Hibs journey. Okay, so over time, the kids start feeling anxious. They feel resentful and even afraid of the Quran time. So instead of seeing the memorization as a beautiful spiritual opportunity, it becomes a source of a lot of stress that they want to avoid. Okay, so researching on motivation tells us that real lasting encouragement comes from love and intrinsic desire. It has to come from within. I know, again, I'm saying that it is easier said than done, but it just shouldn't be about instilling fear into them, instilling guilt into them, and forcing expectations. So we want our children to truly embrace and love the Quran Majid. We need to make the experience gentle for them, inspiring and supportive. Okay, so I was kind of putting off this topic because I'm going through this as well. I have a 9-year-old and I also have two older kids One of them completely, I gave up, and I'm going to be honest here, and I let them decide, okay, whenever you're ready, we're going to start again. Okay. So I'm not perfect. Um, I'm in the learning curve with you as well. All right. So our goal as parents isn't just to help them memorize, it's to nurture an environment where our kids generally fall in love with the words of Allah Ta'ala. Okay? So Hifz becomes something their hearts are drawn to, not what they're pressured into. Okay? All right, so let's get into this. Let's explore a couple of ways that can help you both find that ease, that joy and connection on this journey of Hifz al-Quran. Okay? Number one thing is make it fun for them. Okay? Let's start with making it fun for our kids. You might be thinking, okay, I don't have time to play games with them, or Hifz is serious. I need them to sit in one place and concentrate. Well, if they're young, um, you feel, uh, I know this for a fact that they cannot sit still, right? So, neuroscience tells us the exact opposite. Okay, if you're feeling that fun isn't fun a distraction, they get distracted if they're playing. But when we have fun while learning, our brains release dopamine. Okay, the feel good chemical. This doesn't just make us happy; it boosts memory formation and motivation. So, actually makes memorization sessions more enjoyable. They learn much faster and with more enthusiasm. Okay, so let me share a couple of things that I do with my daughter and I did with my sons when they were younger. My younger one couldn't sit still. Okay, boys, if you have boys, you know how this is. And he would jump around all over the place. Okay, so I allowed him to. I allowed him to jump on the sofa. I allowed him to jump on the cushions. So what I did, what I do with Insia now, I pick particular furniture pieces in the room. Okay, so pick particular furniture pieces, and she starts from one ayat, and then she moves to the next furniture piece, and then the second ayat, and the third ayat, and we try to memorize like 10 ayats in that routine. You can do this with toys that are laid out. Maybe she can jump from one cushion to another, doing 10 ayats, do little dots, do numbers, it can do lots of different things. Just try to be a little creative and don't make it boring for them. Okay, you can do this all the way up to 10-year-old kids, okay, at their level. My girl loves gymnastics, so every 10 ayats she's like, okay, I'm gonna do a cartwheel now. I'm like, okay, do a cartwheel after the 10 ayats. So try to make it fun. It just needs a little bit of creativity and a little bit more patience from our side. Okay, use stickers. Get little stickers for them, put them on the wall. Do little reward charts. I do Ogia points and Ono points with her. So every time she does something good, I put little stickers for the oh yeah points. And then when she gets 10 or 20, then I do something special for her. Something simple like take her out for ice cream or make her favorite dish, things like that. Okay, let her choose. Another thing you could do is role reversal. Okay, let your child listen to you when you recite. Okay, and you make mistakes while you recite, so they get to correct you. Let them be the teacher. Um, Involve other kids to be a part of the Hifz journey. Do a quiz. Let them record on your phone or those recorder machines, and let them hear their own voice. Send to their grandparents or somebody, so they get an encouragement from somebody else. Sometimes they want validation from others. So make a chart, put stickers on the wall, see how far they've gone. There's endless things you can do. Try to make it fun. All right. Um, okay. Now, when you lead with joy, your child absorbs your calm and your positivity. Okay, so if you're pressuring, you're angry, you're frustrated, that's exactly what they're going to emanate back while doing Hifz al Quran. So they stop associating Quran time with pressure and start looking forward to it. Okay, so whenever I do these sticky notes or I do these games type of things, my daughter loves it. Okay, and she doesn't find it stressful to do it. Yeah, it might take longer, but they'll build that consistency. Okay, um, and they'll start looking forward to inshallah. That's our goal. Okay, and that also becomes a moment of connection. That's the time you want to connect with your child, not disconnect. Okay, so positive emotions expand the brain's ability to absorb and integrate information. Okay, psychologists call this the broaden and build effect. So when we create a joyful environment, our kids' brains and our own are literally primed to do their best learning and memory work. Okay, so they learn to grasp easier. I'm sure if you guys have heard of Montessori schools, they play and learn at the same time and they pick up much, much more faster. Okay, so let me know if that works for you. And if you have any tips, share with me in the comments. A lot of people can benefit as well. Okay, break it down into bite sized chunks. I think I missed a slide here, so please excuse me. Um, the second tip is to break it down into manageable bite sized pieces. Okay, when memorizing the Quran, it is a huge task. Okay, and we know it is. It's much easier. It's very difficult and kind of overwhelms them, right? So this is called cognitive overload. When the task feels so big, it causes anxiety and eventually avoidance and frustration and a lot of stress. Okay. Um, so instead of focusing on an entire surat, set a goal for just 10 ayats or even just a line per session. Depends on how old your child is. Okay. Build consistency. um, Create a beautiful space for Quran Hifz. Okay, light some candles, put some cushions, maybe bring in their stuffed toys, and make it cozy for them. Make it inviting for them to sit in that place and do Hifz al Quran. Burn some bukhur. They know that okay, this is the time I need to concentrate. This is my space, and it's inviting for them. Okay, even if it's just 10-15 minutes daily instead of like an hour of frustration per week, or every single day if it's an hour. um, I'm talking about starting off like this. Okay, if they're in the further in the journey, they may need to bring in that hour, but in order for them to fall in love with it, this is what I'm talking about, breaking it down, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then a designated spot, designated time. Okay, track progress visually. So use colorful charts, stickers. Take little candies, put in a jar every time they do an ayat or they finish a page, whatever that is, and so they can concentrate. Okay, and they can see their achievement over time, right? And you can see their achievement as well. Celebrate their small wins. Okay, um, the big hugs, the a word of praise, really like truly from your heart. Create a family ritual that by the time they get their 10 ayats done, or they get one page done, or whether one sipara done, you go out, that you create a family ritual, and they get that validation as well, right? So chunking it down, breaking into small pieces, manageable units, is a proving learning strategy. When kids experience success with small tasks, they build what psychologists call the self efficacy, or the belief that I can do this. Okay. So when they just cross that line and they fulfill those goals, they start telling themselves, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Instead of looking at the top of the mountain thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to reach there. It's never going to happen. When you break it down into small little goals, they find it more achievable, and they're more encouraged to do it. Okay, and this reduces our anxiety as well. Okay, And it shifts our mindset from, oh, we're so behind, to, okay, we're steadily making progress. Remember the rabbit and the hare story? One step at a time. Okay, it's not about reaching the end goal. It is just about being consistent every single day and moving towards that goal. Okay, and that's a huge boost for your calm and your confidence. Okay, we've got a whole lifetime to do this. You're nobody's behind. Nobody's competing with anybody else but yourself and your child. Okay. Third, and I love to do this, and I love to encourage you guys to try this out because it's really, really helpful. Visualize the end result. Okay, even if it's just one sipara, one surat. Visualize isn't about just dreaming. It is about stepping into that moment and letting them feel with full emotion when they're done with that surat, they're done with that five sipara, um, juz awal, whatever that is for that child. Let them imagine being in Mula's Hadrat. Okay, let them imagine um, doing Qadam Basi. Okay, they're doing Qadam Basi to Mula, and they have that joy in their entire body. Where does the joy feel in their hearts and their stomachs? Um, what are the smells that they're smelling when they're in the ziyafat? Maybe they're smelling bukhur. Maybe print out a picture of them wearing the sash of Hifz al-Quran. Okay, Hafiz al-Quran, they've got that sash on. Let them see it. So all kids are different. Maybe kids need to see and visualize, okay, this is my end result. This is what I want to do. And let them step into that visualization every single day before they do the Hifz and after to do the Hifz, okay, the session. Or maybe it's just a certificate. They pass the first level, they pass the second level, and make them step into that visualization every single day before they do the Hifz. Okay, so it wires the brain to pursue that goal, even through the tough days. Okay, I also encourage a visualization board. Okay, it's called a create a vision board. So if you're doing the Hifz, then you want to put a certification up there. You want to see Mula in Ziyafat. You want to see them wearing the sash. You want to see the family members congratulating him. Um, uh, Try to let them see the words, see the pictures for that end goal. Okay? Um, when we see it, we're able to hold it on our hands much more quicker. Okay? So take a quiet moment with your child and ask them to close their eyes and imagining finishing that surat or feeling the pride of reaching a milestone. Okay? Remind yourself and them about the beautiful spiritual and emotional rewards of Hifz al-Quran. Why are we doing it? Okay? Talk about motivational stories. Maybe you can show them on Instagram. There's lots of motivational stories of kids who are doing it, young ones as well, who have completed their memorization. To encourage them. Place up visual reminders in your area. So that's, again, I'm talking about the visual board, okay? Quotes of what Mullah says about Hifz al-Quran, pictures that will motivate them, okay? So visualization activates the brain's goal circuits, okay, making perseverance much more likely. It also shifts your focus away from small setbacks to the long-term why behind your effort. So what is the why behind doing Hifz al-Quran? We need to remind them. So when you regularly practice this, it brings out a very positive outcome. And we tend to be more patient and less reactive because setbacks happen, right? Of course, they're not going to be able to remember every time, they're not going to pass that session. And these setbacks feel like just simple bumps on a beautiful journey of Hifz al-Quran. Okay? So staying calm while encouraging your kids on this Hifz Quran journey is truly a gift we want to give them. Not pressuring them, not yelling at them, not comparing them with other kids. We want to make it enjoyable for them. Okay, so breaking it down into manageable steps, keeping a vision board, just not just nurtures these minds, but these hearts. Okay, every child's journey is unique. Every child is different. They learn differently. So you need to understand what do they love? Are they visual learners? Do they love movement? Is that they learn quicker that way? Or do they like to see? Are they visual learners? Or they're auditory learners? Can they just hear and remember? So they're all different. We need to figure out what works from them. Okay? So your calm and encouragement are part of their success story. They'll always remember this, right? So mistakes and setbacks are natural, and your patience today becomes their confidence tomorrow. Okay? They always remember mom believed in me. Okay? No one believed in me, but she believed in me, so I am here today and I'm able to do this. Okay, inshallah, this was helpful for you. If you have your own strategies or stories that you'd like to share with me while studying and helping your kids study Hifz al-Quran, please do share in the comments. Um, I'd love to support you and also learn from you. So thank you so much for watching. But before you go, if you found this helpful, I want you to share, like, and subscribe. And you guys know how that works, right? Um, but if you want more peace, more calm, more connection with your kids, I invite you to check out my Master Your Calm bundle. Okay. What I've done is I put a parenting workshop. It's called Parenting Shouldn't Be a Scream Fest. So we talk about how to really communicate with our kids, how to communicate with yourself, understand your emotions first, then how to communicate those emotions and how to connect with your kids first. Okay, and then I've put a beautiful create a beautiful PDF for you. It's called Master Your Calm Guide, which has got really reflective questions, journaling prompts. So understand your emotions, understand your triggers, your patterns. So it always starts with us, right? If we understand ourselves first, we can turn on that switch of calm anytime. That is what we're going to be leaving legacy for our kids. Okay, that's why I'm so passionate about this. Um, this is something that's really dear to my heart. And the last thing that's in the bundle is it's a PDF toolkit. So Master Your Calm toolkit. So whenever things get out of control, what can you do immediately to shift to that calm, shift to that peace, and bring that joy again into the parenting? Okay. So it's all designed to empower you with the tools you need to create a peaceful, positive environment at home. Um, so you can find the link in the description below. Okay. Jazakallah khairan for being here. I'll see you in the next episode, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.